Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here. I'm here to tell you a fun little story as well as to thank you. A few days ago, this is going up the same day that I'm recording it, so I want to say like 4 or 5 days ago maybe, I wrote this big impromptu article over on my website, which is mah-dry-bread.com. No dashes in it. Links in the description. I don't know why I bother explaining. And I wrote this big article, spur of the moment thing, because I've been experimenting over and over and over on my streams, in the past at least, with getting people to share on Twitter and Facebook and stuff the stream link to see how effective it actually is at bringing in viewers. And what I found is it was so effective at bringing in viewers that not only did the fans bring in more viewers than I did, but it ended up getting me a partnership eventually. That was about a half a year ago now that I was doing that little experiment, and I haven't really done it since. A couple of times in a few videos, I've asked people if they could go on Steam and go on my Steam group, which is also in the description, and hit the invite friends button and do that, and that's always worked out well. So I decided I'd make this big article explaining why it is YouTubers will ask you to share things, how you could go about sharing my things, why you might want to, like how effective it is and examples of it working for me, and just have this big article on my thoughts on it, as well as how to do it if you want to do it. I put out that article and I linked to it on Twitter and on my Facebook fan page, Twitter and Facebook, description, and what I found was, over the course of the next 2 days, only about 20 people did it, and yet I gained, I think, over 100 new followers on my Steam group, and that's really big, because on my Steam group, that's where I send out the most noticeable notification, at least, that says, hey, I'm streaming when I stream, and it provides a link straight to my Hitbox page where you can watch the stream. So it's really good at pulling in viewers for that, because, like, if you don't happen to check your YouTube at the time that my video goes up, then you're gonna miss it. If you're following me, you get the email, and you don't happen to check your email that time, you miss it. Like, if you don't see my tweet because you have a busy Twitter feed, you miss it. There are a lot of ways you could miss it. The Steam notification is one of the best ways to find it if you happen to be at your computer. And that's why the Steam group is so important. And it turns out that that's a really, really easy thing to share on, apparently. So I just wrote this big article, and only about 20 people actually went out and shared stuff. From what I could tell, I got a little bit of feedback, and I got over 100 new people following on it. I think that's insane. Especially considering I didn't even announce that on my YouTube channel where most people would see it. I announced on Facebook, which I get... my average post makes like 150 people see it, but only like 10 people ever click it. A lot of people just scroll past it, so that's not much. On Twitter, maybe I get a little bit more than that. Hard to tell, really. On my website, about 5 people check my website every week, because I don't do much there other than blog posts, so I don't have much there at the moment. On YouTube, though, if I do a vlog, I can often get over over 1,000 views after about a week. Vlogs seem to be the thing that brings in the most consistent views that I do. Not entirely sure why. Apparently people just like to hear me talk about things that aren't video games? I don't know. But I thought I would just share this experience with you on my YouTube channel. Say a big thank you to those of you who shared. I wish I knew more of you who shared, actually, because more people definitely shared than told me. A few people, like, tweeted me and let me know. I can tell that a lot of people shared and didn't let me know, and not that you have to let me know or anything, not that I expect that of you, but it's not like you have to be an unsung hero for this. I appreciate it. I publicly thanked everybody who told me that they shared and everything, because it's not just that I think it's a big deal, it's that it kind of is a big deal. You guys grow my channel a lot bigger than I grow my channel. I'm kind of just in charge of putting out the content and trying to make sure it's good. You guys telling your friends about the stuff that you like and showing it to them and sharing it around, that's what really grows my channel, because if YouTube doesn't feel like promoting me, and their whole system of how they promote people is really arbitrary and weird, and is kind of built to make the popular people more popular, and I'm not popular, guys. I barely get views. So it's really not in my favor. So really, any channel growth I get is through luck of people bumping into me by searching something and finding one of my things, or they'll see me in suggested videos. Rarely that's YouTube's promotion thing, so it's iffy. Like, I show up in the feeds of people who watch a lot of Age of Empires 3. By some freak coincidence, I'm the first result on YouTube if you type in Age of Empires 3. I don't know why. My friend Interjections puts on, like, really good professional quality streams and videos where he's, like, he interviews the top players in the world on the game, and he does these big streams where he plays it or where he casts and does professional commentary on it, and yet he's not top result. I am, by some fluke throwaway weekend video I did a couple years ago. So that's how arbitrary the YouTube promotion system can work on whether they decide that your video is going to be the one that gets popular or not. So really, the people who find me, whenever I get a big burst of people finding me, it's either one of my old videos just miraculously got kind of halfway popular with a certain group of people, or you guys were sharing it around and you put it on your Facebook and your Twitter, or you just even told your friends who you think would be into it and showed them the link. That's kind of where the majority of the stable growth goes. I'll get a lot of people come in from Creepypasta who then unsubscribe the exact same week that they subscribed because they like that one thing I do, they subscribe, and then they see I do a lot of things that aren't that, and then they leave because that's just not what they're into. Whereas when you're sharing it with your friends are obviously going to have common interests with you. That's why you're friends. You get along, you can talk together about things in common, and you enjoy your time together. So naturally, if you're friends, your friends are more likely to come in and enjoy the same thing you enjoy than just random people. Which is why when a community grows the community through telling their friends about the community they're in, you kind of grow this big community of people who are just really nice to each other. And I think that makes for both a good community on the YouTube channel and also a really, really good community on the streams. Because the chat doesn't just break out in fights all the time because everyone gets along really well. There are always going to be differences of opinion and everything, but I think we're adult enough that we can handle that. I feel like I've got one of the more mature fan bases that I've seen on YouTube. I've seen some fucking douchey fan bases out there of a bunch of just screaming children. But I'll talk to, like, I'll have people who are much younger than me, like, I'm 22, I'll have people who are 12 message me and who are so mature and articulate that I won't know that they're 12 until they tell me, because when I was 12, I was not nearly as mature as these people messaging me, and neither were most of the 12-year-olds I knew at the time. So, I don't know, I think I've done a pretty good job of just getting a really intelligent and mature fan base, and I think that's because my content is not highbrow by any stretch of the fucking means. We do some dumb fucking jokes on Flash Trash especially. It's not that we're particularly highbrow, it's that I don't treat anyone like they're stupid. And I think that's why we have such a smart fan base, is that because I don't treat anyone like they're stupid, we attract less stupid people. I guess that's the most polite way I could put that. And it's always flattering that people will sometimes message me and say, hey, I learned a lot about history from you because I like to talk about history a lot. And I'm usually right about history. I've been corrected a few times, and I'm happy that people correct me, because when they correct me, it means I learned something new. And then I can stop spreading misinformation. Anyways, I'm wildly off topic. I just wanted to say that about 20 people shared on the Steam group, and they shared some other things, I'm sure, but the easiest thing for me to track was the Steam group. About 20-ish people shared the Steam group, and in the first few days, I got like 100 new people following it. I think I'm up to like 130 new people now who are in that Steam group. Now look at the view count of the video you're watching right now. If you're watching in the first few minutes, then yeah, it might not be that much, but I bet it's still more than the amount of people who shared that day. If 20-odd people can share that day and make that much of a difference, what would happen if even a quarter of the view count you're looking at right now shared? If they read the article, which will be linked at the top of the description, read my article, and it shows the different ways you can share and proof that it works and just my thoughts on it and everything. It's not me demanding you all go share like a bunch of lemmings. I'm just putting the idea out there and I've got an article to make it as easy and as interesting as possible that I hand wrote. Hand typed. It's on my website. You can't paper website. I'm articulate. So if even a quarter of that view count were to share, I wonder how much of an impact it would make. Let's consider this a social experiment for the sake of growing my channel and for the sake of us all seeing what happens. Let's see how my demographics and metrics and analytics and everything here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the Steam group, let's see how all of that stuff changes as you guys share. I'm going to do another vlog like this. I'm going to maybe do it in a week from today. If I get an opportunity from a week from today. Next time I get a good opportunity and it's been more than 4 days, let's make that the rule. Next time I get an opportunity and it's been more than 4 days, I'll do a vlog updating on whether this was a success or a failure. Again, you don't need to participate if you don't want to, but I'd very, very much appreciate it. And if you do participate, feel free to tweet me or something and just let me know you did so I can personally thank you. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So I'm actually really, really pumped for this. I think this could be a really big turning point for my channel, and my channel's my full-time job, so it could be a big turning point for my life, honestly. With how little YouTube has been paying the last few months, I'm sure you've heard from a lot of YouTubers, but the YouTube advertisers just are not paying as much. Pay is more than cut in half for me. So Patreon's especially important right now. So a big growth in my channel might actually really help the situation. I don't know. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thank everybody very much for your time in watching this video, because I've been very rambly this vlog, despite having a big topic in mind. So thank you very much for your time. I really do hope you guys share this stuff around. And until next time, have a nice day.